Hello, this is Leonard Ridge, Superintendent of the Laurel School District, here to review with you the latest order from the Governor Tom Wolf's administration. So what you see before you here is a press release from the governor's office regarding the Wolf administration requires masking in schools, early learning, and childcare settings to keep students safely in classrooms and Delta variant out. Now, let me tell you that the Laurel School District has completed its health and safety plan, that we did submit that health and safety plan to the state as part of our requirements. But what I will tell you is there are 500 school districts, and at last count, 474 school districts had submitted health and safety plans, and only 59 required masks. So, 12% of school districts across the state required masks. The other the others left masking as optional. The other 88% left masking as optional, and we were one of the 88%. So I want to review this order, and I want to begin a discussion of how this might impact Laurel. So it says here, with a focus on protecting students and keeping them in classrooms, Governor Wolf joined the Departments of Health, Human Services, and Education today to discuss the current state of COVID-19 and a new Secretary of Health order requiring masks to be worn inside K-12 school buildings, early learning programs, and child care providers. The order takes effect 12/01, Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. Couple comments about the opening paragraph. So he specifically notes that it's not his order, that it is from the Secretary of the Department of Health. They are using a law from 1929 to issue this order. They are staying clear of any recent limitations that were passed by the citizens of Pennsylvania by a 56% majority, limiting what he could do as far as an emergency order. If you, all of you were sent a copy of this press release, and therefore you were able to hit this hyperlink should you want to go and see the order. Quote, my office has received an outpouring of messages from parents asking the administration to protect all children by requiring masks in schools, said Governor Wolf. The science is clear. The Delta variant is highly transmissible and dangerous to the unvaccinated, many of whom are children too young to receive the vaccine. Requiring masks in schools will keep our children safer and in the classroom where we all want them to be. So a couple comments on that paragraph. Well, first of all, I called the governor's office, and that number is area code 717-787-2500. I went through the directory, and I was put into the queue 4 times today to go to the governor's office. But when you scroll up the queue, if you will, you're now number 6, you're now number 3, you're now number 2. I got up there 4 different times only to be told via message that due to the high number of calls, no one was able to take my call, nor leave a voice message. I did leave a voice message for Secretary Ortega, and I did leave a voicemail for the acting secretary for the Department of Health. I don't know if they want my opinion, but I did share it via a voicemail. And my opinion is this, that for weeks it has been a local decision, and that your 9 representatives passed, unanimous I might add, passed a health and safety plan that had masking as optional. But this local decision is attempted to being overridden by executive authority from Harrisburg. Now remember, Governor Wolf had said that it should be a local decision. I'm paraphrasing, that's not the quote, but he was leaving it up to the local school boards. I preferred for local school boards to make this decision. Unfortunately, an aggressive nationwide campaign is spreading misinformation about mask wearing and pressuring and intimidating school districts to reject mask policies that will keep kids safe and in school. As we see cases among children increase in Pennsylvania and throughout the country, this is especially dangerous and challenging as we seek to keep kids in school and maintain a safe and healthy environment. Well, I disagree with his statement there. Let me say the following. Local school boards should be making the decision. Local school boards should be returning or deciding, should students who are returning be masked, unmasked? Do they have a choice? What is wrong with saying if you feel compromised, wear a mask? If someone else does not feel compromised, don't wear a mask. Masks are a choice. Medicine is a choice. Therefore, vaccines are a choice. It's not our job as the Laurel School District and as school officials to either encourage nor discourage vaccination, encourage nor discourage masking. Those are your health decisions. Those are decisions to be made with parents and children, and those are not decisions to be dictated by a school authority. Continuing. Acting Health Secretary Allison Beam was joined at a press conference today by Governor Wolf, Education Secretary Noah Ortega, Human Services Acting Secretary Meg Sneed, and the president of the Pennsylvania chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics, Dr. True Haker. The reality we are living now is much different than just a month ago, said Acting Health Secretary Allison Beam. Well, may I say, a month ago, the children were playing baseball, softball, soccer camps, team camps, whatever they might be. No one was reporting any signs or symptoms to any school officials. Therefore, there were no reports to the Department of Health. I think that comment needs a degree of context that, yes, identified cases might be on the rise, but I think there's a logical explanation for that. And I do not believe, as we sit here in late August, early September, that there's any more or less cases amongst school-age children than there was this summer. I think the difference is they're in school. I think the difference is they're in a structured environment. I think the difference is that some are being identified as symptomatic and then being directed to go get tested, and then those symptoms are indeed confirmed as cases. With case counts increasing, the situation has reached the point that we need to take this action to protect our children's teachers and staff. So she pointed out to a rising increase in percentages, leaving out the context of numbers. If you have low numbers and then those numbers increase, the percentage is going to be great because the pool was small. If you have high numbers and then the cases increase, obviously it's going to take a significant more number of cases to increase any percentages. So I ask anything in context. Anything you look at in context, you need to look at the raw data in terms of numbers as well as the percentage data, and follow the news on both sides. Follow the news on both sides. If the percentage angle advances whatever agenda left or right, then they use the percentage angle. If the number angle justifies the agenda left or right, then they use the numbers. But very rarely do you see a description of the numbers as well as then a definition of the percentages. So if the science is clear, we want to keep our schools open, maintain classroom learning, and allow sports and other activities to continue. Masking significantly increases our chances of doing so. Ironically, kids are at risk in this order while they're in school. But the moment that school bell rings to dismiss school, they can go about their business in sports and extracurriculars, and they don't have to mask. I'm not sure I understand how you have to mask during the school day, but you're not masking when you are playing athletics. Now, perhaps they can social distance when they're running in cross country, but when they're practicing football or playing soccer, you're lining up 11 on 11 and you're getting rather in close contact with one another. So I question her statement about the science being clear. I'd like to know the science as to, yes, we are outside, but if we are banging into our bodies with one another over the course of 2-3 hours, is there any science behind that? I think that's a rather political decision rather than a scientific decision. So I'm sure you're all concerned, how will the Laurel School District react? Well, we don't know yet, but I can tell you the following. I had the opportunity today to meet with our school solicitor. I proposed the following questions to him during and after the press conference. 1, what does the order say we have to do? And 2, what does it mean to enforce? To enforce. That's a wide open range of action relative to enforcement. So the board has not made any decision nor had any discussions relative to this order. There is a work session tomorrow night. One of the agenda items on the work session is for the board to develop and pass a policy statement, a procedure statement on this latest order. Our solicitor has his homework. He is to be prepared in order to provide advice. I'm sure that your elected representatives would welcome your opinion. I would welcome your opinion one way or another. But again, it's my and has been my personal recommendation to endorse the health and safety plan of the Laurel School District as created by the Laurel School District, as passed by the representatives of the community in the Board of Education. This policy has usurped our authority, and certainly we need to discuss any reaction to that usurpation of authority. So you may do the following. You don't have to do anything. If you are so inclined, you may email me. You may email any board member. You may call them. Maybe you're a neighbor. You want to knock on a door. But we will certainly, in our public venue of a work session, entertain any comment that you might have. But I ask the following. Let us not decide this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media you might partake in. Let's decide this issue as a community in the appropriate venue. Let the Laurel School Board take in the opinion of all stakeholders. And that includes parents who are representative of their children, any other community members. That includes our employees. That includes their representatives, i.e. their union leadership. That includes district administration. So the board has a lot to do in a very short period of time. Our work session will be tomorrow. Our voting meeting will be on the 8th, which will be one day after the order. So I'm available for question, comment, and concern. I appreciate your attention to this video. Please take advantages of the appropriate channels of communication. And remember, we are safe, kind, and responsible because we go where we're supposed to go. We're there on time, and each and every day, even when the Wolf administration issues an order that usurps local authority, we're using our God-given ability to do the very best we can. Have a great day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.